Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the show. So yeah, 80 degrees. What are we gonna do about this weather, man? This weather just seems to not be going anywhere. I really want those water temps just to get down just a little bit so that I could find these fish grouped up really good and straight catch them. I would say though, regardless, we did get on some pretty good bites over the weekend and last week too as well, with that warm weather coming in. We ran a couple guide trips. They went pretty dang good and we had a good time. So I am going to be selling all of my gear. As you guys can tell by the title of the video, we're getting into professional bowling. I'm working on the follow through. I've been working on it all summer. What do you guys think? It's kind of like casting in a way, because when I cast, I like good follow through too as well. So in all seriousness, we're getting rid of all the rods and reels, and we're gonna talk a little bit about why. Why are we getting rid of all of the stuff? I love the stuff that I use, but one thing's for certain, man, I do like to talk to my clients and listen to my clients about some of the gear that they prefer to use. And it's kind of funny, like my clientele down in that southern part of the country, you know, a lot of those guys, they might own like one spinning pole, which is kind of funny because up here in Minnesota, most of my friends or most of the people that I fish with own no less than like 8. That's actually kind of funny. One thing in those communications was talking to people about what they like to buy and what they like to own. A lot of clientele that I run with, especially the repeat guys, the hardcore guys, a lot of the guys that I run with run Shimano G Loomis products. It's been a long time, all right, since I've owned a Shimano reel. The last Shimano reel that I had was an old school Curado from a really long time ago. And the last Loomis rods that I had were some older GLXs, IMXs, and I even had a couple E6Xs too as well. I like Loomis rods, man, and they've treated me really well in the years that I've used them. When I went with Toxic, part of the reason why I went with Toxic rods and partnered with them a few years ago was because of the ability to be able to design all your blanks. And I designed most of the blanks to a competitor spec. So that's kind of what gravitated me towards a custom rod builder. Now moving forward, one thing's for certain, man. I wanna offer my clients a great experience, but B, I got to be able to use the rods too, and I didn't want to just buy rods solely that the clients use. I needed to have multi-purpose for them. I needed to be able to use them myself too as well. And so what I did was I had a lot of different buddies in the boat this year with Shimano G Loomis products, and I used their stuff primarily throughout the day when they'd come up here. And what I found, man, is that I love the new stuff that's coming out. I really like the NRX Pluses. Who wouldn't? I also like the new GLX. I've held a few different newer models of the GLX and the IMX Pro series. They just have so many different good rods in each series or each tier of rods that they have throughout all their lineups. And I just think that one thing that G Loomis does very well, and same thing with Shimano too as well in their rod lineups, some things that they do very well is they build rods that are very specific to the techniques. They have very specific bends in the rods, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. And it really increases the hookup percentages when the rod bends the right way on the hook set. That really does make a big difference, especially when we're talking spinning gear, using lighter wired stuff. I can't stress how much importance it is to have the right rod, reel, and line, and how that all comes together to make a high landing percentage on those fish. And so with that being said, I just really wanted to move into some of the best stuff on the market, and in my mind, that's going to be G Loomis and Shimano. So I've been using Daiwa reels primarily for the last 7 years, and I don't think I've owned a reel outside of Daiwa for that long. And as far as the rods go, this year, you know, we separated ourselves from Toxic Rods, or we're not partnered with them anymore. And so we got a couple different brands in here that we tried. And I really think that the best choice or the best decision for the clients and for myself is going to be to try and upgrade this stuff to Shimano G Loomis. So I'm pretty excited about that. No, it's not a partnership. It's not a sponsorship. It's just me trying to give my clients the best experience possible. So, you know, I know that social media seems like it's important. It is important to me because I promote my business through it. But the number one concern and then the number two concern is going to be guiding and tournament fishing and then social media. Those three things. And so, and they do go in that order: guiding, tournament fishing, and social media. And so I really think that a key component to the top two of those priorities are going to be the equipment that I use. So therefore, we are going to sell all this stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. It's great stuff, but we're just ready for a new change, and I can't wait for that change. And it kind of sucks. It's kind of making me sad to let some of this stuff go because some of these rods have boated some gigantic fish. They treated me very good. Clients have caught giants with them, and it kind of sucks because some of them are truly one of a kind, and I don't think that you can get a rod like some of them. So there's two of them specifically. I don't think that you're going to find a rod as good as the way that these were made. So let's get into it really quick, guys. So first off, I really would prefer that all the buyers are from Minnesota. I'd also prefer to meet in person. I'm always cruising down to Mille Lacs, so if you have a day trip down there and you want to grab a rod, you could even give me a freaking a deposit for the day, and you could take it and go mess around with it, and you could return it to me if you didn't like it at the end of the day. If you wanted to meet up down on Mille Lacs, I'd be willing to do that. So kind of give you guys a summary. The Elite Series rods that we have are the North Fork Composite X-ray blanks that we have. They were designed by Gary Loomis. There's a reason why I leaned heavy on those blanks. I have a total of, let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. I have a total of 7. And I have 3 spinning rods and I have 4 casting rods. The 4 casting rods that I have, you guys, if you guys really want an in-depth look at how I use these two, you could definitely watch the No More Secret videos that I have on the channel too as well. And they're really going to give you guys an in-depth look at all the techniques that you can throw with these. But and I'll post this list too. I'll put this list up in the corner. I sent it out to a few good buddies of mine, and I kind of wanted to hopefully do this all privately before I had to do it publicly, but we didn't get there. So all this stuff will be for sale November 1st too as well. So not all of it, some of it. Some of this stuff won't be for sale until November 1st. Some of it's for sale right now, and we'll kind of get into that a little bit too as well. But let's jump into it. So the Elite Series lineup, that's the X-ray blank. It was designed by Gary Loomis. I built these rods up to be designed to competitor spec. And then the tournament grade rods, which I have, let's see here, and that's more of a price point rod, but there's nothing wrong with them. They're great rods. They're super light and airy. Great multi-purpose rods. So I have some casting rods available, and for those, they are a true workhorse rod, multi-purpose. So you could run anything from jerk baits to flukes, top waters. Obviously, it's a medium 7'3". I have 3 of them, I believe, in casting. It's a medium, but it's more like a medium heavy. Like if you pick up this rod and compare it to most rods on the market, it's going to feel a lot more like a medium heavy than a medium. But you can do literally everything with this rod. Jigs, any bottom contact bait you can think, wobble heads, jigs, Texas rigs, and then top waters, jerk baits. It just does a little bit of everything. Chatter baits. It does everything pretty dang good. So not technique specific really. It's more of just a multi-purpose rod, and it is freaking awesome. And then next I have the spinning rod version of it, which is the exact same thing except obviously it's spinning, and that does a little bit of everything too as well. So great bottom contact rod, and you know, I use them for a little bit of everything. Next, we got our St. Croix Legend X. I'm letting that go for $260. Medium heavy, 7 foot. you know, I'm using it right now for a finesse football jig, but in this thing is not beat on at all. It's in pretty damn good shape, but ultra sensitive, ultra light. You know, it lives up to St. Croix's reputation. And then I also have some other stuff too as well, some fiberglass rods that I use for cranking and for chatterbaiting. These are some of the best fiberglass rods that I've ever held in my life. And so they're built out of a high component fiberglass called S-Glass. This is the cranking one. This is a medium, 7'4", and then I also have a medium heavy that I use for chatterbaits. That's a medium heavy, 7'4", same exact deal, fiberglass. I really think that between cranking and chatterbaits, it's like the must to have fiberglass, and it does hold up. It's ultra sensitive for being fiberglass, and it's definitely super light for being fiberglass too as well. Compared to some of the other fiberglass rods that I've owned throughout the years, this is by far the best one for sure. And then a specialty rod in the Elite series, two of them that I have are going to be the hair jig rod, which is an 8-foot rod. I kind of want to get $200 for this rod. It's the only Elite series rod that I really want to get $200 for. It's freaking perfect. It's 8 foot. You can cast this out a freaking country mile. Handles the fish perfectly. Very, 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 very high percentage. And one thing with the hair jig is a lot of times you got to cast downwind with it. I can tell you guys this much: when I face the wind, I'm not afraid to let her rip with this thing. I do send it pretty hard, but yes, this hair jig rod is truly one of a kind and is freaking awesome. I also have a 7'6" Toxic Elite that I've been using for underspins and swim baits rather. And it is a freaking stout rod. That's $150, 7'6". And then another specialty one that I have is the jerkbait rod. This is a 6'10" or 6'9" medium light jerkbait rod, Toxic Elite. And it is another one that's like truly one of a kind. It is a little cosmetically scratched up at the bottom from the way that I store the hooks rather. So we'll let that one go for $150 as well. And it is a great rod. So overall, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'll put this as a list, and if you guys have any questions about any of this stuff, I'm sure that I have plenty of video footage, pictures, and ton of different data points that you guys want if you guys want information on any of these blanks. So they're all great blanks. I also have at a price point rod too, St. Croix Bass X 7.1 medium heavy power. You know, I'm guessing that you could use this for a little bit of everything. I tied a chatterbait on it and tried a chatterbait with it the other day. You could use it with a jig, bottom contact bait. It has a really good feel for it. And I believe these retail for like $120. I'll let it go for like $60. Outside of that, man, I think I covered everything in the toxic rods. And then last but not least, I do have some Daiwa Tatula XT blanks. They're a price point Daiwa product. I would let these go for $60 or $70 a piece. They're brand new. They don't even have a full season on them. I have a 6 foot, or wait, this is a 7 foot rod, 7 foot medium light. I use that for drop shotting. And then I also have a 7 foot medium for a bottom contact rod. And it works pretty dang good. And they're pretty dang new. Like, literally just bought these this year. So actually one of these is this one, the 7 foot medium. This is less than a year old. So, or sorry, less than a year old. It's less than like 2 months old. So it's a pretty cool deal. And then basically reels that I have. And again, we'll post them up in the corner, but I have 3 of these. That is a Daiwa Tatula Type R. They're a little bit beefier. They're kind of heavy, somewhat heavy, but they are a bulletproof reel. I've had these reels for close to 6 years or so, or 5 years maybe, and they've held up. I've never had an issue with them. They stay on the deck all the time. I never got rid of them for a reason. What are we asking for those? $100. We're asking $100 for those, so that's a pretty damn good price. I also have a Daiwa Tatula 100 HSL, the older version. That's another reel. We'll let it go for like $100. And then I also have the Elites, the Daiwa Tatula Elite reels. They're both 7.1s. What did I have those listed for? 150 bucks, and I have 2 of them. And then I also have for my jerkbait, and I think that this should be sold as a combo. I don't think that we should break this up. This is a Daiwa Tatula 70 SV. It's the micro compact casting reel by Daiwa. It's perfect for this jerkbait setup. I really, kind of hurts me that I'm letting that go. I really, yeah, it hurts me that I'm letting that go, but we're gonna send her down the road, man. And that SV70 is pretty new. I bought that last year, 150 bucks on it. And then we also have a SV81 and SV73 with Gonexus handles. And this is what they look like. These are older, so 100 bucks on these. They're pretty older reels, but yeah, they're great reels. I mean, use them for a little bit of everything. The SVs are great for dock skippers or for beginners. Definitely a great reel to learn how to use a bait caster, and definitely a great reel to learn how to dock skip, something that I've been doing a lot of. And then as far as the spinning reels go, I have 3 Daiwa Tatula 3000 LTs, and they're the older models. I have one 4000 LT. I have one, oh wait, I have no more Daiwa Fuegos left. I sold all those. I have a Daiwa Kage 3000 LT MQ. I want 175 bucks for it. And then we also have a 2016 Daiwa Exist. It's the 3012 JDM spool, so it's got the bigger spool on it. 275 bucks for it. And then we got the graphs. So there's not a scratch on any of these graphs, guys. And I'll show you guys really quick. I'm selling this graph, and I might sell the mount too. I haven't decided yet. I might actually keep the mount. I have not decided what the plan is for this thing yet, but I have these 2 graphs for sale. We have a Garmin, and this Garmin is, I believe, it's the 10-inch Ultra, and I'll find out what the exact spec is on that. And then I have a Humminbird Helix 10. Oh my God. Which the screen's really dirty. There's no scratches on it though, but I have a Humminbird Helix 10 Gen 4 that I run my 360 with. I'm trying to get rid of that too as well. And then we also have that bad boy too. Gosh, look at that thing. Look at how sweet that is. That's definitely looking for a home too as well. So we're updating everything, man. I'm gonna try and get rid of everything. And then I do have a Minn Kota Ultrex 112 36 volt, and it is the long shaft. I believe it's like the 52 inch. So if there is a 52, is it a 56? Who knows? Anyways though, that is what we got for sale, and I hope that you guys like it. I'm gonna link my contact info down below. It'll be, if you guys are interested in any of this stuff, just send me a message. You guys can look me up on Instagram, Sam Rare and Fishing, Facebook, Sam Rare and Fishing, and just shoot me a message. I'm still booking guide trips, man. I'm gonna do like 3 or 4 more. I was only gonna do a couple more, but I think that I like money, so I'm gonna run a couple more. Anyways, until next time, guys, you guys know where you'll find me on the water. Who does not know what that is? Yo.
We could keep on going.